Mr. President, the spring 2017 graduating class of the University of Central Florida's College of Business Administration is assembled.
Good morning and welcome to the 151st commencement exercise of the University of Central Florida. To begin our ceremony, our vocalist, Jose Velez, and our organist, Andrew Walker, who are located beside the platform on the main floor, will lead us in singing our national anthem. Will all please rise, and gentlemen, will you please remove your caps?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming on the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a wonderful day in the lives of our candidates, and we are pleased to bestow upon them symbols of academic achievement. I know how proud of our candidates you must be, but I also know that a good portion of their success they owe to your love and support. Some of you have traveled quite a distance to be part of today's ceremony, and it is important for you to hear your graduate's name as it is called. We ask you to be mindful that others wish to hear the name of their graduate as well. Before we continue, I must acknowledge that we are tremendously proud of some special members of the UCF family who could not be with us today. They are the brave men and women of UCF who've been called away to active military duty. Let me also acknowledge two very special groups of graduates who are with us today. Graduating members of our ROTC programs who have just been or are about to be commissioned as officers in our armed forces, and our graduating student veterans. Would you please rise and accept our thanks and congratulations? Thank you. Several people important to the university are on the platform and will not be introduced later. I ask them all to stand and remain standing as they are recognized, and I ask that you hold your applause until all have been introduced. The Honorable Kenneth Bradley, member, UCF Board of Trustees. The Honorable Joseph Conti, member, UCF Board of Trustees. The Honorable David Walsh, member, UCF Board of Trustees. Mr. William Merck, Vice President for Administration and Finance. Dr. Rick Schell, Vice President and Executive Chief of Staff. Dr. Daniel Holsenbeck, Senior Vice President for University Relations. Dr. Mary Beth Ehas, Vice President for Student Development and Enrollment Services. Dr. Alvin Wong, Dean, Burnett Honors College. Dr. Vicki Arnold, our Grand Marshal. UCF is blessed with an outstanding faculty, and we salute them. What happens in their classrooms, laboratories, and studios largely determines the success of our candidates. Members of the faculty, won't you please stand and be recognized for your contributions? Thank you. Our commencement speaker, Robert Hudson, is Senior Vice President for Skanska USA Building, one of the largest and most successful construction and development networks in the country. Based in Orlando, he is responsible for business development and corporate training initiatives for the Florida and Georgia markets. He is also the chairman of Skanska's Global Client Relations Group. Bob has been a Skanska leader for 15 years. He was a member of the team that developed and built many prominent facilities in our region, including a number of UCF's finest buildings, which have contributed to the utility and beauty of our campus. A graduate of the University of Florida and a civic leader in Central Florida, Bob is currently the board chair of the Orlando Economic Development Commission and the Seminole State College Foundation. He's held leadership positions in many regional nonprofit organizations, including the Boys and Girls Clubs, Central Florida Council of Boy Scouts of America, and the Arnold Palmer Invitational PGA Tour event. Please welcome our speaker this morning, Mr. Robert Hudson.
Thank you, Dr. Hitt. Good morning, graduates. Let me begin with a big UCF night congratulations to all of you on this momentous occasion. Each of you had your own unique experiences that led you to this accomplishment, and I'm sure that collaboration and teamwork was a common thread. Let's take a moment to congratulate those who supported you along this special journey, your parents, family, friends, professors, and mentors. They are all very proud of you and will continue to be your support network. Graduates, look over your shoulders and around you. Find those dearest to you and give them a round of thankful applause for their steadfast support and faith in you. Today is a day of celebration, of reflection, and anticipation about the exciting future that awaits you. I consider it an honor and privilege to be here today to celebrate with all of you, and I hope that my brief remarks will leave you with some lasting impressions. I'll begin my remarks by sharing my story, one that was influenced by many people, especially my parents and grandparents, who framed my perspective on life, which includes the importance of leadership, always developing my leadership skills and integrity, and on building and maintaining lasting relationships of trust, and always focusing on the team approach as opposed to the me approach. If you remember only a few things about my message today, let it be these three themes: leadership, relationships, and team. As a result of some of the key lessons that I learned in the few years after I graduated and entered the workforce, I now have the privilege of not only being a senior leader on a team that is part of Skanska, an industry-leading global organization, but also a leader in the business community here in Orlando. So how and where did I start after I threw my graduation cap up in the air many years ago? My first leadership leap of faith was to move from my native, warm, and sunny Florida roots to the Midwest, St. Louis, Missouri to be exact, where it is cold and snowy in the winter and blistering hot in the summer. I left my comfort zone, my family, friends, and familiar surroundings to go to work for a manufacturing and wholesale distribution company. I learned a lot about myself, about building relationships with others, and about the value of teamwork and personal integrity. I worked hard, brought value to my team, earned the respect of the leaders of the organization, and developed a communication style for the business environment that was quite different than what I left behind in college. A key message I'd like you to take with you today is about the relationship theme. All of you have grown up in the digital age, where technology has been the driving influence on how we communicate with each other. We have social media, email, texting, and instant messaging. We can communicate with each other instantly all over the world, all day, every day. Now, in complete disclosure, when you consider my age and that I work for a major international engineering and construction firm, odds are pretty good that you will not find me on Instagram or Snapchat. But here's what I would like each of you to remember as you think about the aspirations you have for a successful career in business. Relationships of trust are built by interacting with people, having conversations either by phone or in person, spending quality time together. As you move ahead to the next phase of your life, think twice about how you choose to communicate with others. Ask yourself these questions. Should I text or should I call? Should I email or should I have this discussion in person? Believe me, there are times when an email or text is not the right approach, and there are times when it is perfectly appropriate. Let me give you an example. If the Secretary of Florida's Department of Transportation leaves me a message regarding an issue with the I-4 Ultimate construction project that we are managing here in Orlando, odds are I'm not going to send the Secretary a text or an email. I'm going to pick up the phone as quick as I can. If we have an issue with a subcontractor that impacts our promised timeline or could impact our owner's budget in a negative way, we're going to sit down face to face and not hide behind our computer or cell phone screens. All of you have an opportunity to differentiate yourselves, and your effectiveness in communicating is a powerful way to set yourself apart. One final comment on your communication style. There's a lost art called thank you notes. Yes, the handwritten kind. It takes 5 to 10 minutes of your life to write a thank you note, and the impact on the person receiving it lasts forever. So doing this makes you different, believe me. So please think about that. Okay, so back to my story. I stayed in St. Louis for 2 cold, snowy winters and could have stayed much longer, but I had an opportunity to return to Florida to operate and manage a chain of women's retail stores, which I did for the next 15 years. I learned a lot of great lessons about the importance of providing exceptional customer service, paying attention to detail, and creating a culture of loyalty among our patrons. So how did I go from a career in retail to where I am today? A relationship that I developed in my community volunteer work led to an attractive offer for me to change careers and leverage my network, leadership skills, and all the things I had learned in the 15 years prior. I credit my development as a leader and my career trajectory to my ability to build substantive, long-lasting relationships of trust with a broad, diverse group of stakeholders, both locally and around the region, and my ability to contribute to, lead, and develop teams. All of you have leadership skills. Exercise them often and grow as a leader. Observe other leaders and emulate those traits that will help you to develop into a great leader. Business is about creating and nourishing meaningful relationships and being a strong leader. So here are some thoughts on leadership. Have a flexible leadership style based on your audience or constituency. Be a self-starter. Take the initiative and always be prepared. Be an active listener. Make eye contact. Be engaged. And avoid distractions while you're talking to people. Be humble, dependable, consistent, and a trustworthy team player. And some thoughts on relationship building. Develop your own broad and diverse network. Be active in your community. This is where you will build your name, your reputation, and raise your family. Always give more than you take and have a firm handshake. Bring value to your relationships and share goodwill. Have a uniquely memorable communications approach. Set yourself apart. Have a consistent style in how you build and maintain relationships. Always follow up on your commitments. With family, friends, community, and business associates, take the time to build and strengthen the ties that will serve you and them in good and tough times. Appreciate the worth and value of each individual in your life. I have found that the golden rule is timeless and still applies today. The entrepreneurial spirit that each of you possess is the driving force for the leadership that we need to drive our economy to the next plateau. UCF has provided you with a strong foundation to bring the innovative and diverse thought leadership that will enable us to win in the business for global marketplace. You will always have the support and resources of this great university to draw on as you blaze new trails in the business world. And the opportunities for all of you will be plentiful right here in Central Florida, where we are leading the nation in job growth for a second year in a row and are continuing to make the investments needed to sustain our growth trajectory. I would like to close with a poem by Carl Holmes that, to me, articulates some of the keys to success and quest for excellence in life. If you have not heard this before, please listen closely, as I know it is one of Dr. Hood's favorites. It is simply called, "And Then Some." These three little words are the secret to success. They are the difference between average people and top people in most companies and organizations. The top people always do what is expected, and then some. They are thoughtful of others. They are considerate and kind, and then some. They meet their responsibilities fairly and squarely, and then some. They are good friends and helpful neighbors, and then some. They can be counted on in an emergency, and then some. I am thankful for people like this, for they make the world a better place. I hope that you will think of these three little words as you move on to the next chapter of your life, and then some. Congratulations, graduates. My sincerest, heartfelt wishes for happiness and success to all of you.
Robert, we thank you for a very challenging and inspiring commencement address. When we call upon friends in the community to take up this task, we always are confident that they're going to do a good job, and almost all do. I would say this morning, Robert, you did a great job, and then some. Thank you. Well, we reached that happy time in our commencement exercise when degrees will be conferred. I call upon Dr. Stephen Sutton, who represents the faculty.
Thank you, President Hitt. On behalf of the faculty, I am very pleased to recommend that the degrees be awarded to those students qualified to receive them.
Thank you, Dr. Sutton. Will Dr. Dale Whitaker, Provost and Executive Vice President, please join me at the rostrum for the conferral of doctoral degrees.
The doctoral degree represents the highest academic achievement a person can earn. To receive the doctorate, candidates must demonstrate proficiency through advanced graduate coursework and exams, and demonstrate to their university professors and their peers that they can engage in substantive research that adds to the body of knowledge in their chosen areas of study. Dr. Elizabeth Klonoff, Vice President for Research and Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, will present the candidates for the doctoral degree.
Will the doctoral candidates from the College of Business Administration please rise? Mr. President, on behalf of the Dean and the faculty, I am pleased to present these candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degrees for which they qualify, and to recommend that they be conferred.
Thank you, Dr. Klonoff. Candidates, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Florida and with the concurrence of the UCF Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended and for which you have qualified, with all the rights and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Will the graduates please come forward with their major advisors to be recognized and hooded? The hooding ceremony is traditional for the conferral of a doctoral degree. The academic hood is a UCF hood, as its black and gold colors denote, and the velvet lining represents the field of study.
The College of Business Administration, Amy Melissa Donnelly, Major Advisor Dr. Vicki Arnold. Falsey H. Jabber Hyder, Major Advisor Dr. Hongdui Chen. Michael A. Johnson, Major Advisor Dr. Marshall Shimke. Sarah Elizabeth Lefebvre, Major Advisor Dr. Sin He. Juan Katie Pham, Major Advisor Dr. Melissa B. Fry. Sharon Britton Sheridan, Major Advisor Dr. Maureen Ambrose. Robert Roy Tennant, Major Advisor Dr. Robin Roberts.
Will the candidates for master's degrees from the College of Business Administration please rise? On behalf of the Dean and the faculty, I am pleased to present these candidates for the degrees for which they qualify and recommend that they be conferred.
Thank you, Dr. Klonow. Candidates, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Florida and with the concurrence of the UCF Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended and for which you have qualified with all the rights and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Will the first row of master's graduates from the College of Business Administration please come forward? Will the remaining rows please be seated?
The College of Business Administration, Doris Hatcher Hook. Michael C. Bagley. Daniel Patrick Spahn. Timothy R. Callanan. Brian Todd Sampierre, Raven Alexis Nolte, Jedidiah Hurt, Landon Paul Grantham, Michael Joseph Pizek, Alejandro Riva, Emmanuel Ortiz, Brent Thomas Brislin, Pablo Eduardo Raffagelli, Stephen Camino Sepulveda, Brian Stanley Rubio, Armando Sanchez, Sterling Russell Langley, Enoch Jean Belloni Sr., Christina Marie Therles, Samuel Frederick Hudson, Richard Spittler, David Paul Pelos, Alexandra M. Rosado Cabrera, Nicole Perez, Balaji Ramamurthy, Bruna Marquez Bronco Friera, Taylor James Ficani, Jeffrey Michael Ficani, B. Fine, Robert Charles Cleveland, John Thomas Lightsey, Renee Ann Giron, Shane Patrick Williamson, John Irwin Bennett, Kyle P. Len, Wei Ting Lee, Rachel M. Valari, Katie Jan Lee Burrows, Svetlana Pavlona Nachevaya, Anna Pavniak, Mary E. Cash,
Christina Diane Smith, Perla Castrahone, Mary D. Frank, Latasha Chantel Delgado, Joe Large, Alan James Thompson, Shabad Nabanvi, Omar Abahibid Amali, Daniel Aloysius Lynch, Carolyn Elizabeth Boyd, Fatima Kabini, Ashley Matthew, Elise Mathis, Tanya Noel Lizwowski, Abraham Sham Hanif, Michael Lobo, Leslie Ann Brunswick, John Marshall, Adam L. Lucas, Taylor Gladding, Weiwei Hu Lansing, Jessica Lynn Gomez, Shirk Mohammed, Mwanda Jeanette Land, Narita Rugabeer, Eric C. Labat, Shipra Shukla, Elisa Ann Ewalt, Jamie Rivera Pietri, John Anthony Oliveris, Shri Navaris Telekalipi, Harriet D. Gay, Boris Britstein, Joshua Damian, Mohammed Nawfal Hazini, Eric Summers, Tamita Naznim, Denny Trocaso, Roberto Maximo, Melania Merlis Harris, Merrick D. Balani, Jonathan Kip Kaplan,
Jackie Kim, Catherine A. O'Hanlon, Sheena Marissa Mohammed, Jenny Diane Lagme, Janet Lynn Dre, Juan Manuel Jimenez, Jeffrey Benjamin Johnson, Sean James Baird, Byron Perez, Roger Camille Hodge, Sheila Catherine Potts, Douglas William Benoit, Christine Elizabeth Bola, Hatel Mukesh Patel, Richard James Cassidy, Daniel Joseph Ray, Leandro Brito Costa Rubiero, Rosemary Maioni, Daniela Corporella, Angela Marie Allen, Ana Renee Torres, Elsie Renee Jean-Baptiste, Shelija Tirawa, Katie Simone Fuentes, Angela Marie Ellison, Desiree Eliana Roberts, Shakita Yvette Ashley, Bonjurel LaShonda McGee, Alexia Katis Blunt, Shanika Chantel Harris, Jacqueline Rosado, Ashley Nicole Dollar, Malia Betty Hayner, Navdia Yviette Hernandez, Susanna Tamayo, Kimberly Ann Snyder, Pamela Lynn Gass, James H. King,
Courtney L. Gilmore, Taylor McCormick DeArmond, Stephanie Kolowitz Miller, Carrie Ann Scott, Christina Francesca Dudley, Ingrid Jennifer Paramoponi, Danielle Patrice Chung, Mahala May Valero Uranus, Dianellis E. Blass, Jennifer Grace Parker, Michael Joseph Fabish, Richard Anthony Franklin, Jacqueline Lee Kennedy, Alex Christopher Berry, Heather St. George Gibson, Stephanie Odinero, Hina Balal, Chloe Palmer Cook, Cho Pang, Roberto A. Orta.
Will Dr. Taylor Ellis, Associate Dean of the College of Business Administration, present the baccalaureate candidates from that college?
I am proud to present the baccalaureate candidates from the College of Business Administration. Will the candidates please stand and remain standing? Provost Whittaker, it is my pleasure to recommend that these students be granted the degrees for which they qualify.
Thank you. Mr. President, the baccalaureate candidates standing before you have been recommended for graduation by their dean and by the faculty of their college. I concur with these recommendations and present the candidates to you for the awarding of degrees.
Thank you, Provost Whittaker. Candidates, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Florida and with the concurrence of the UCF Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended and for which you have qualified with all the rights and responsibilities thereto appertaining. I invite you to move the tassel on your cap from the right side to the left. Congratulations. Please be seated.
You may have noticed that some of the graduates are wearing a gold cord. This cord signifies high academic accomplishment. Will those wearing the gold cord and all of those representing our campus honor societies please stand and accept our congratulations? Please be seated. We are very proud of the distinctive Lead Scholars Academy, the only one within the state university system and one with few peers across the country. During their years at UCF, the LEAD Scholars have a unique opportunity to engage in the academic study of leadership, to lead others, and to serve our community. The names of our graduating LEAD Scholars are listed in the program. I ask these students to stand for recognition. Please be seated. The Burnett Honors College has achieved great distinction at UCF for the quality of its students and for the richness of the academic experiences that they are provided. Printed in the program are the names of those students graduating with university honors or who are receiving honors in the major. May I ask these students to stand for recognition? Please be seated. Honor medallions are presented to the students who have achieved the highest grade point averages in their colleges. I ask these students and their families to stand for recognition. Please be seated. We are also very proud of our distinguished President's Leadership Council, whose members are selected on the basis of scholarship, leadership, service, and the ability to function as ambassadors and hosts for the university. The names of the graduating President's Leadership Council members are listed in the program. I ask these students to stand for recognition. Please be seated. In 2001, the university established the Order of Pegasus, an honor that recognizes outstanding senior and graduate students who have demonstrated overall excellence in university involvement, leadership, academic achievement, and community service. Because of the breadth of accomplishments required for this award, the Order of Pegasus is the most prestigious and significant student award that can be earned at this university. We are pleased to have this graduate on the platform today. Will President Hitt and Haley Scott please join me at the rostrum, and will Haley's family please stand and share in this recognition? And now will the top honor graduates, followed by the first row of baccalaureate graduates from the College of Business Administration, please come forward.
From the College of Business Administration, Order of Pegasus graduate, Haley Elizabeth Scott, summa cum laude. Top honor graduate, Heather Renee Barrs, summa cum laude. Top honor graduate, Ted Barton, summa cum laude. Top honor graduate, Sarah Grace Fisher, summa cum laude. Top honor graduate, Hunter William Menning II, summa cum laude. Rebecca Elizabeth Guthrie. Casey Elizabeth Blau. Savannah Brielle Budd. Jennifer Carolyn Aviles. Brianna Pren. Christopher Michael Miller. Dalton Christopher Caulfield, cum laude. Carson Albert Clough. Alexander Constantine Bonchuk. Stuart Adam Davis. Casey James Suntum. Cameron Robert Thomas. Travis Scott Smith. John Joseph Savarese. Eric Allen Smith. Matthew Tyler Verndon. Mark Anthony Castillo. Joel David Neiman Miller. Tristan Alexander Jimenez. Mariah Aaron Sally. Shelby Margaret Fansel. Caitlin Mary Rose. Laura Corridor. Amber Star Bush. Hannah Elizabeth Bricker. Timothy John Alphys, cum laude. Brian Philip Moffett. Susan May Smothers, magna cum laude. Kristen Nicole Andrews. Brittany Annette Pantoja, magna cum laude. Matthew Anthony Marstaller, summa cum laude. Kathleen Patricia Murphy. Samuel Aaron Kramer. Matthew Thomas Sasportas. John R. Simmons. Devin Nicole Smith. Jacob Crisafulli. Casey Levy. Marissa Janine Machin.
Matthew Sade. Matthew Austin Harden. Gabriella Nicole Edwards. Oliver John Barat. Brianna Marie Reynolds, magna cum laude. Michael David Whitcomb. Thomas Michael Fulton. Anthony Michael Mancuso. Adam Noel Franz. Colby Tyler Menard. Gina Nicole Cruzy. Kyle Joseph Gross. Christopher McKinley Edwards. Taylor Michaela Banks. Jacob Christian Radford. Caitlin Johanna Lanky. Jonathan Michael Simpson. Brianna Lynn Gattell. Stephanie Vanessa Munoz. Gabriela Cabrero Carew, cum laude. Jacob Shalil Perduki. Luke William Mucci. Justin Richard Lamine. Alberto Acosta. Vincent Ralph Desiano, cum laude. Nicholas Walter Salvatore, magna cum laude. Cody Elias Ozzie. Michael Fritz. Danielle Lee Burnham. Garrett Michael Mogab. Robert Jose Fuentes. Stephen Rana Danis. Tyler Austin Smith. Britton Dalia Tibbetts. Michelle Huber, cum laude. Anthony James Fravala. Laura Denise Strauss. Devin Anthony Lorenzen. Brooke Alexis Hughes. Victoria Morgan Burke. Louis Julian Sigash. Emily Elizabeth Johnston. Kevin Mendoza. Madison Lee Rosler. Assad Anjem Ahmad. Nicholas Matthew Corey. Xavier Isaiah Scott. Cody Coleman Cummings. Ashley Hamilton Boyd, magna cum laude. Patrick William Dolson, cum laude. Aaron Joshua Sidlow. Tiffany Tracy Lim Apu. John Stephen Rogan. James Max Hertel. Dylan John Haslam. Tyler Cole Schroeds. Cody Dwight Kalinowski.
Yoel Marvin Cohn. Jessica Elizabeth Doolittle. Jorge Luis Salazar. Natalia Santana. Anamika Banhimini Mahadeo. Sydney Elise Hessman. Sarah Marie Crick. David Robert Side, summa cum laude. Matthew Alien Richardson, cum laude. Kyle Thomas Sloan. Hannah Elizabeth Penny, cum laude. Connor William Barrick. Alba Iris Olivero. Stephen Ford Runyon. Caitlin Joy Swearsko. Zachary Matthew Kullix. Madison Danielle Kimball. Cynthia Naroja Duarte Maya. Evangelina Lorraine Ruiz. Kyle Michael Upton. Zachary Allen Froman. Michael Luis Lopez. Christy N. Mansfeld. Julie Ann Felstead. Robert Vincent Barranco. Derek Paul Uloa. Nicholas John Muth. Michael Christopher Bragano. Allison Brooke Schatz. Catherine Mary Marie DeWall, cum laude. Arnie Nielsen Arnay. Yingjiao Chung, summa cum laude. Cody Carson Yates, cum laude. Loralee Marcuevas Cabrier, cum laude. Robert Howard Molden III. Courtney Ashley Simmons. Nicole Page McGee. Johanna Tyree Jackson Tate. Tahira Tasnim, summa cum laude. Cody Paul Weitzman. Marissa Joy Cole. Christina Rose Sinisi. Spencer Campbell Epis.
Sean Davidson. John Klasner. Sean Michael Dickman. Justin Wayne Aloy. Daniel Joseph Quintana. Connor McMillan Callahan. Patty Joe Porter, cum laude. Benjamin Joseph Hartigan. Alex Andrea Coddington, cum laude. Casey Jane King. Travis Jameson Abbott. Christopher Bernard Emmerich. Peter Gabrowski. Daniel Leo Greenwald. Bradley Max Rubin. Saru Pabahar Shamar. Dylan James Henry. Joshua Cipio Dickens. Christopher Stone Husaki. Derek Joseph Bergamon. Ryan Joseph Menon. Richard Christian Arias. Kyle Alec Kirschenbaum. Alexis Karen Kerwood. Isaac Jamil Raphael. Elizabeth Ann Phillips, cum laude. John Thomas Morgan. Kevin Anthony Riley. Caitlin Marie McCaffrey. Lauren Michelle Ammon. Stuart Michael Claren. Taylor Bullock. Christopher Jean Marie Contreras. Olivia Marie Fernandez. Courtney Elizabeth Kurtzweg. Melody Marie Skinner. Melissa Lynn Mullen. Sierra Leanne Rios, summa cum laude. Victoria Pauline Rivor. Christian Edward Perez. Stephen Robert Bamber. Mark Allen Cassidy. Monica Patel, cum laude. Manuel Francisco Perez Carrillo, summa cum laude. Reja Akbar. Caitlin Elizabeth Wiebelf. Caroline Bridget Campbell. Ian Daniel Cano. Philippe Edward Nicholas. Wade Hartley Smith. Jason Scott Horwitz. Christopher David Fedrick. Nelson Antonio Lado. Andrea Del Rosario Melgar. Corey Elizabeth Sipple. Monica Bermudez. Shane Michael Oakes. Devon Dane Murphy. Daniel Patrick Keenis. William Kenneth DeSapio. Brian Jeffrey Campbell. Dylan Thomas Dorharzio. Christopher Jonathan Roll. Frank A. Infante.
Michael Matthew Logan. Connor Charles Bennett, cum laude. Deidre Lynn Fragapane, summa cum laude. Catherine Elaine Fugelseth. James Chase Keeney. Nick McAuliffe. Jonathan Frederick Pullman. Jenna Ann Taylor. Dwight LaShawn Montgomery. Trina Ortega Hines. Alex Gregory Marsh. Nathan Mark Underwood. Samantha Ann Schwartz. Matthew Philip Vokak. Sebastian Brinkerhoff. John Dirks. Jane Raymond Brossard III. John Michael Moore. Dustin Paul Gallo. Matthew Robert Scheck. Alyssa J. Blosma. Amity Lee Bradbury. Alexander Lee Berlow. Drew Workman. Yajide Ashley Gina. Mariah Andriana Cooper. Jabitha Viscaligam. Alex Guzman. Corey John D'Angelo, cum laude. Edward Blake Calderon III. Andrew Thomas Rush. Diego James Hoganson. Brant Neil Valero Gaitis. Teresa D. Joseph, summa cum laude. Yolanda Garza. Stephanie Savani Young. Demi Paulino. Brenton Gage Scott Spiro. Alyssa Mariana Quinones. Jacob William Thomas. Charles Bud Schultz. Brittany Lynn Doyle. Alexander Joel Goldstein. Elizabeth Joy Whipple. Jasmine Nicole Neal. Sandra Lenora Hippoletti. Edward Thomas Paluga, summa cum laude. Kevin Richard Lombardo. Michelle Julia Becky. Betty Jane Pope. Timothy Blake Trent. Jason Scott Lale. Jonathan Robert Jonesmeyer. Alexander Michael Cheatham. Dylan Vincent Ogulera.
Albert Joseph Persham PR. Jeffrey Douglas Wagner. Robert Houston Miller. Stephanie Rivera. Elizabeth Thean Dimfelmeyer. Georgie Algard. Nicole Bortez. Austin Thomas Brunner. Carolyn Marie King. Amanda Rose Gill. Augustin Urguza. Edgar Giovanni Molina. Kara Ann Fairhurst. Jessica Rebecca Garrett. Andreas Paris Fucaris cum laude. Nicholas Hall Anstey. Benjamin William Gimentine. Taylor Watson. Rebecca Royce Munson. Kelsey Gail Blackwelker. Kevin William Dell. Michael Ryan Camerata. Alexander Anthony Ruggieri. Gianella Alexandra Alida Moya. Laura Stephanie Chavez. Andre Akeem Rodriguez Campbell. Francois Govale Turner. Anthony Michael Rivas. Gabrielle Pisa. Megan Nicole Chance. Claudia Virginia Vajalrio. Valerie Venscones, cum laude. Vanessa Del Valle. David Michael David Gonzalez. Talitha Ray Milton. Chia Emily Higgs. Daniel Lewis Prince. David Robert Anander. Nadja Velgovich. Connor Forrest Pettibone. John Wade Reveal. Ariel Marie Bassetti. Diego Alberto Lajose, cum laude. Andrew Ian Schneider. Sarah Marie Lane. William Thomas Solomon. Lauren Nicole Bachman. Robert Thomas Holmes. Ryan Wolf. Kimberly Aris Harvey, cum laude. Cynthia Lorraine Vanetta, cum laude. Selena Nicole Killian Leah. Danella Fawn. Sarah Hayes Garvin. Kimberly Lynn Moore, cum laude. Jamie L. Parker. Megan Lazar. Stephen Sazer. Shannon Lee Grimm. Anthony Onofrio Giovananco.
Vadeshwari Moshad. Stuart Tyler Brown. Alexander Gabriel Rocher. Alexis Catherine LeMay. Louis Albert Corey. Nicholas Albert McAndrew. Joshua Garrett Lazar, cum laude. Adam Rahim Moore, summa cum laude. Jacob Robert Millick, cum laude. Brooke Lynn Friel. John Frank Sanders. Alec Jordan Friggenbaum. Thomas Joseph Alper. Robert Allen Davis. Jacob Alexander Summerhays. Justin Marcelo Sanchez. Aaron Lee Davis. Sean Patrick Chesney. Saray Ashley Terrain. Rachel May Clark. Amanda Nicole Jackman. Brittany Stinson. Annalise Sigona, summa cum laude. Evan David Deacon. Rachel Faith Roberts, cum laude. Jessica Lynn Traster, summa cum laude. Timothy James Connor. Benjamin Paul Huber. Alexander Karamapur. Dalton Gregory Son. Tyler Allen Ragland. Juan Esteban Garces. Nicholas Michael Senator. Gaspar Dulipre. Domenico Del Solar. Mark Fregat. Kevin Patrick Donahue. Eric Javier Pula. Dwayne T. Fan. Connor Alexander Pank. Keller McDonald Powers. Dominic Calandra. Tyler Connolly McCurdy. Sean Doyle Morse. Richard Allen Lang. Daniel Andres Alacron. Clayton Matthew Meister.
Victor Joseph Didago. Gabriella Lucia Mata. Jesse Renee Brindle. William Anthony Smith. Laura Erica Bushers. Jared William Lowe, cum laude. Jacob Charles Wyatt Kimbrough. Legina Garcia. Eduardo Juarez. Emily Ortiz. Audrey Stokes, cum laude. Melissa Nicole Woshick, cum laude. Kristen Ashley Elliott. Jackson Miles Ducock. Christina Dolores Brown. Josephine Corodoga Phoebus Tefangan. Stuart John Little. Rufino Gutierrez. Scott Auburn Cantwell. Brianna Lene Miller. Laura Suarez. Michael Toledo. Jamie Ma. Anthony Charles Lenehe. Jackson Scott McDonald, cum laude. Kimberly Ivorus Haynes. Andrew Scott Irwin. Jonathan Eric Mitchell, cum laude. Chiao Chin Tifon, cum laude. Chantel Latrice Sutton. Jody Ann Swetland. Paul Carson. Eric Dean Amberson. Lynetta Badstrias. Adriana Osorio. Summa cum laude. Edward Frederick Buckley. Omar Hussein. Bradley Scott Jessamine. Arif Hussein Hasnain Shamjeh. Ali Taka Absu Hussein. Leela Coleridge. Nicholas Paul Slavins. Kevin Corton. Remington John Coulter. Nicholas Allen Fennerin. Nicholas Robert Bartley. Grayson Robert Glaves. Jasmine Nicole Folks. Scott Louis Peters. Monique Alexandra Legros. Carl Austin Strohmeyer.
Ashley Brianna Cook. Cody Jacob Gately, cum laude. Renee Desiree Richards. Brianna Jalissa Hughes Major. Clarissa Kwan. Felipe Stanciola Borrell. Jonathan William Benton. Renz Noel Ronas. Alan Avindra Hardeo, magna cum laude. Michael Gregory Rodriguez, cum laude. Michael Alexander Nieves. Lutier Eglos. Austin Donald Bailey. Timothy Mashiko Sakao, cum laude. Casey Adam Mallet. Dolph Chong Choi. Alan Michael Sierra, magna cum laude. Corey Ray Patton. Kaylee Marissa Manchilis. Aaron Robert Blue. Suna Anina Lundal, summa cum laude. Craig Daniel Vanek. Connor William Hines. Gabrielle Marcus Wolf. Joshua Michael Paradise. Renzo Valentino Madieta. Stephen John Lindberg, cum laude. Dalton Walker Thompson, cum laude. Adam Jeffrey Bloom. Alan S. Azen. Natalie Ann Ramage. Alexis Nicole El Armane. Hajj Najare. Christopher Anthony Fernari. Evan Antoine McRae. Yunjong Jin, cum laude. Chong Yen Duong. Samuel Schwartz Minigar. Matthew William Bollier. Daniel Aaron Carroll. Colin Wolnack. Nicole Michelle Fontanez. Bradley William McCluskey. Logan Douglas Cloak. William Hall Hood. Jacqueline Sonia Barbasia.
Christina Marie Wolfinger. Nicholas Scott Campus. Connor Joseph Sikora. Carrie Rose Stein. Sarah Elizabeth McKenna. Myra Carolina Paccio. Charles Thomas Irving. Dylan Balthazar Hausman. Joshua William Kahn. Joseph Russell Cartwright. Leon Valiansky, cum laude. Leisha Lily Samuels. Billy St. Felix. Stefan Saukas. Julian Will Henry Vaughn. Isis Amina Clark. Juno Joseph. Justin Marie Mary Davis. Charles Lowell Clark. Earl Jerome McLord. Kevin Lee Young. Shuan V. Cooper. Ryan Scott Stamer, magna cum laude. Jordan Nicole Grass, cum laude. Kim Jennifer Wiseman. Alexandro Javier Miranda, magna cum laude. Willie David Miller. Daniel Stephen Cortez. Stephanie Renee Myers. Jessica Lauren Smith. Justin Richards. Sheila Miriam Latifajar. Lauren Rachel Cotter, cum laude. Brinley Elizabeth Benauk. Travis A. Schmidt. Neil Xavier Paquin. Jeremy Regis Chips.
Jennifer Ann Levy. Logan Harrison Kate. Deborah Harbove Escadon. Stephanie Layton. Andy J. Booyop. Alexander Christian Edwards, cum laude. Natalie Renee Crow, cum laude. Nicholas Anthony Diaz. Jacob Sean Dempsey. Antonio Candido. Benjamin Chase Waxler. Thomas Arroyo. Christian Edwards Savini. Mauricio Vargas Barriga. Taylor Christian Rigsby. Gina Marie Gonzalez. Micah Nicole Boshier, summa cum laude. Jessica Ray Long. Melody Marie Deathridge, magna cum laude. Alyssa Caitlin Tabb, summa cum laude. Mary Louise Canton, summa cum laude. Julio Acosta. Brittany Nicole Renon. Grace Gabrielle Archie. Eric Michael Fesser. Santiago N. Nabeldian. Michael John Nagy, Francesco Angelo Canepa, Cesar Ferrer, Esteban Nicolas Mutis, Aquiles Ramon Velasquez, Harrison James Gunn, Tremon Antonio Hogan, Adam James Schaefer, Frederick Edwin Steyerman, Adam Michael Welsh, cum laude, Jameson Adam Moore, Elizabeth Flores, Natalie Chong de Jesus, Alexander Donald White, Jacob Andrew Lashley,
Chad Edward Ferguson, Andre Sebastian Rivette, Jessica Elise Baruforo, Kayla Kuwo, Jordan Cole Rosenblatt, summa cum laude, Murad Mike Deshoyan, Oliver Patrick Stallings, Allison Nicole Frazier, summa cum laude, Drya Lopavari, Evan Michael Markovitz, Alana Esther Perez Garcia, Valentina Curry, Ander Jesus Falanchines Varkovich, magna cum laude, Christopher John Barris, Tony DeJesus Hernandez, Janiqua Diana Price, cum laude, Dan Richard Atienza Palanki, Chelsea Lynn Woodville, cum laude, Eric Daniel Colin, Reniqua Lashee Hill, Jennifer Diane Smith, Kevin Adam, summa cum laude, Bradley Scott James Brown, Billy Devine, Rebecca Christine King, cum laude, Tyler Brooke Swift, Jeffrey Charles Wolf, Nicholas Alexander Tornant, Sarah Ann McCormick, Tyler James Davidson, Danielle Nicole Wing, Chance Ellison Owen, Joshua Bartley Spangler, Lavanya Chikara Leonard, Melanie Nicole Sanchez, James Michael Ramsewer, Andres Riveros, Thomas Milbury, Denise Munoz, summa cum laude, Kyle Coltrane, Allison Marie McHenry, Shivani Chandra Persaud, cum laude, Audrey Marie Gaines, Omar Sharif Faqih, Laura Lee Lapp, Farzan Larawar Nugan, Desiree Renee Durham, Alyssa Janine Pittman,
Slava Shagayev, Austin John Bolduck, Laura Marie Zawadzitsky, Christina M. Mullally, Sean David Rogers, Michelle Ann Frost, Claire Elise Pewitt, magna cum laude, Sebastian Lang, John Ryan Scherer, Osman Tufail, Christian De Jesus Toribio, Jennifer Marie Odom, Kasim Ayet, Glenda Ann Phillip, cum laude, Chantel Janae Smith, Kathleen H. Newman, Michelle Marie Froelich, Dustin James Goff, Megan Ashley Petoskey, Danielis Lazarbel Gomez, Dimitri McCoolin, Ryan Edward Monroe, Orlando Garcia, Nicholas Velez Gil, Juan Jose Rosabal, Tadarian Lamar Cockcroft, Brooke Allison Mayer,
Ms. Lynn Dang, class of 93, has a few words for our graduates. Lynn?
Thank you, Dr. Hitt. On behalf of UCF alumni, I want to congratulate you on this special milestone in your life. Today, we welcome you to our worldwide community of over 263,000 Knights. As you walked across the stage earlier, your connection with UCF didn't end, it simply changed. That connection is one you should take great pride in. This university's reputation is now among the nation's elite because of graduates like you. No matter where your plan takes you after today, your fellow alumni are eager to cheer you on. Knights are connected through alumni chapters and clubs across the country that can offer you networking opportunities, career assistance, and new friendships. There are so many ways to stay involved. Join our chapter or club, volunteer your time, be a mentor to undergraduates. It all matters. This university is a special place, and it benefits greatly when we all work together. When you combine UCF's size with its standard of excellence, the result is real impact. An example of that impact was made possible by a group of individuals who supported the university by contributing to a class gift. Would anyone who donated to the class gift campaign please stand and be recognized for your generosity? Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you for helping us to kick off this annual tradition. Following today's ceremony, we invite every graduate to participate in another tradition. Have your picture taken in front of the Victory Knight statue across the street at the UCF Fairwinds Alumni Center, your new home on campus. It bears saying again, congratulations, graduates. Welcome to our family of UCF alumni, and go Knights!
Well, thank you, Lynn. By now, you know that UCF is an exceptional place that offers students the opportunity to learn, to work, to participate, to stumble and try again, to compete, to serve, to lead. If you've taken advantage of the many and diverse opportunities you've found here, then you're ready to embrace the new opportunities that life offers as you leave us for business, education, industry, graduate or professional school, military service, or wherever your plans may take you. We know you are eager and that you are well prepared. As new students, you were asked to take an oath that you would live by the UCF creed of integrity, scholarship, community, creativity, and excellence. I trust that these principles have become an integral part of your value system if they were not already so when you arrived. So now as you embrace new opportunities, I urge you to continue to practice and defend honesty, to cherish and honor learning, to promote an open and supportive environment that respects the rights and contributions of each individual. Use your talents to enrich the human experience and to strive toward the highest standards of performance in anything you undertake. Remain true to the values of our creed, and you will bring distinction to yourselves and to your alma mater. You have joined a distinguished group of UCF graduates, and you are forever a UCF Knight. I wish you every success and happiness throughout your lives. Now, go Knights! As we prepare to close today's ceremony, I ask that you recognize the contributions of our vocalist, Jose Velez, our organist, Andrew Walker, and our bagpipers, David Ensfelder and Reg Lyle. We ask all of our guests to please exit the CFE arena from the second floor and meet your graduate outside the Fairwinds Alumni Center. We'll close our ceremony by singing the UCF Alma Mater, led by Mr. Velez. You'll find the words on page 88 of your program. Following the Alma Mater, we'll have the recession of the platform party and the faculty. Thank you for joining us at today's commencement ceremony. Will all please rise, and gentlemen, will you please remove your caps?
All hail to Alma Mater, whose banner black and gold will wave in fame and splendor as the passing years unfold. May loyalty and friendship within our hearts unite, and light the star to guide us ever upward in our flight. With honor and affection, our friendship will renew. We sing of thee, our Alma Mater, ever true.